on to Las Vegas. And things have been interesting, to say the least. It became clear to me on Sunday that Davante Adams had played his last game with the Las Vegas Raiders. The planets were lining up. I didn't expect things to escalate as quickly as they have. By Tuesday, it was clear, Devin, that Davante Adams wants out, and the Raiders are willing to accommodate. I personally believe that Antonio Pierce and Davante Adams made a deal before the season. Hey, give us a chance. Give us a chance. Give us a fresh slate. That's what Davante Adams called it during the preseason, and let's see how it goes. They get beat at home by the Panthers. No longer a fresh slate for the Las Vegas Raiders, and I don't think we'll see Adams again, and I'm more convinced of it as time goes by. So let's hear a little bit from Antonio Pierce, first time he's met with reporters since all of this came to a boil, on the status of his star receiver, Davante Adams. Here it is.
Yeah, Davante's dealing with a hamstring. He's rehabbing, and the rest of us are focused on Denver.
Is he going to be here in the building today? Or?
He's supposed to be rehabbing.
Are you concerned at all about this being a distraction?
No, because we're focused on Denver.
Given all the reports that are out there about Davante, how are you able to focus simply on the Broncos coming up?
I've been doing them. You talking about me personally?
You, and then how do you keep...
Oh, because, it starts with me, because that's my only focus. I get paid here to get ready each and every week for the opponent. I don't blink. I don't flinch. I don't know. I've said it before. Like, I've been through enough of my life with adversity and stuff that it doesn't bother me. I just move forward. The next obstacle in front of me is the Denver Broncos. Just business as usual. Just got to keep rolling. It's NFL. Things come up every day. Since I've taken over this job, it's been obstacles. So just another one.
There's all sorts of distractions that can happen for a football team. I don't know how big of a distraction this is, Devin, because I don't think anybody in the organization is surprised by it. We all saw in the receiver series how exasperated he was with the team last year. I'm amazed they got him to quiet that down going into this season. I think Antonio Pierce, anyone that was on the team last year who heard a lot of stuff privately that we didn't have access to in the receiver series, they know this was coming. So when something is inevitable, when it finally happens, how much of a distraction is it really?
I agree with you, and I think when you're on a team and, like you said, you see all of this kind of going down, I think that's a little bit of a distraction. But I also think when you have certain players on your team, it's kind of like, hey, that's probably Davante's thing. Like, we understand the level of player he is and what's going on in that situation. And the people who have been there for a while and seen Josh McDaniels come, Derek Carr at quarterback, they've kind of been like, hey, like, this is still kind of a part of all of that stuff. Him getting here, how it worked out with Carr, and then the season, and then obviously with receiver coming to the forefront in the offseason. I think the players there are like, yes, that exists, but we're kind of operating outside of that. Like, that's its own thing. I compare it similar to, like, when a guy has a little bit of a contract thing that goes on for a while, it gets to the point where guys are like, yeah, they handle that, and then when it's time to go, it's time to go. I would say the one thing that is a little, I won't say weird, but could be a distraction is he really hurt? Like, is this now a hamstring that, started as a hamstring, but now because of all of this that is going on, it's like, yeah, he has a hamstring, but he doesn't want to play. And maybe as a team, we don't want him to play because we do want to trade him. So I remember even, Sunday night when we're sitting there and we're in the viewing room and you go, I think Davante Adams played his last snap. And I'm like, dang, last snap. We're a couple games into the season. We're already talking about last snap. And now you look at it and it's like, oh, wow, like, this is real. So I do think the whole incident with Antonio Pierce liking a tweet and all of that, it seems like what you said, something had already transpired before anything. And I don't know if maybe him and Davante got into it. Maybe it's about the injury. Maybe, like, who knows? Maybe they did have something that said, hey, if this doesn't work out. But maybe for Davante Adams, it came up a little sooner than Antonio Pierce would have liked. But I just thought that was a very weird interaction for a coach, especially, like, how busy coaches are, to take the time and, to talk about liking something on social media and then not to just come out or call Davante Adams or, whatever it is. And then he goes on, a show and a Kay Adams show and says, I didn't talk to him. Like, that to me was really the icing on the cake of, oh, this is like really bad, because Davante Adams could have went on and said, hey, we'll handle that. Like, that's no big deal. But for him, it was a big deal, and he talked about that. So a really bad situation, and I think kind of spotlights this whole thing of when it happened and he wanted out of Green Bay and he got to Vegas. It was like this talk of how awesome this was going to be with Carr and, you know, Josh going down there to Vegas to coach this team and what they were able. And now you look a few years later, it's like McDaniels is gone, and now Davante Adams is going to be gone. Carr is going to be gone. Who knew that at that moment it was the beginning of the end for this Vegas team?
And you could argue it's not really a distraction for it to be coming to a head. It's the end of the distraction where there's this sense of discontent, and you have a guy in your midst who isn't all in, and he's complaining about this and he's complaining about that. And that's the distraction. Removing him from the equation if he's not happy, even if the injury is an injury. And when I saw that it was week to week, that leak to Shefty for Sunday morning, the Sunday splash reports that we see every Saturday night into Sunday morning, that he's week to week, that's when I said, look, I've been following this for over a year. He's done. He's done. He won't be back with the Raiders. They'll trade him before the deadline, week to week until the Tuesday after week 9 or sooner that he is sent to a new team. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.